The North London derby obviously is the one that's of most interest, and I'm sure Irish fans will be having a bit of a cheeky view of Christian Eriksen this weekend as well. Wenger's been out in the press conference this week. He's been talking about how Arsenal are not underdogs for this game. The table certainly suggests that they are. Recent form suggests that Arsenal are very much the underdogs for this game.
Yeah, very much so. I don't think they've won in the last 6 against Spurs, have they? The only thing that Arsenal maybe look at, they're in very good form at home. But I'd have to say now Tottenham have moved on to a different level from Arsenal. Tottenham throughout the side 1 to 11 are better. I think they've got better creative players in the final third. I think they've got a better defensive unit. Toby Alderweireld being out, that could be a blow to Tottenham. That's the one where I look at maybe this weekend. Are they going to maybe lose someone that's going to provide that real stability defensively to them? But I don't know, I think Tottenham have moved on. I actually think I can't see Tottenham losing this game. Now, whether or not they're going to go on and win it, I don't know, but I think Spurs are in a great position to go there and beat Arsenal this weekend. Let's actually just hear from Arsene Wenger on that point of Arsenal being underdogs. Here he is speaking at yesterday's press conference about the perceived gap between the two clubs at the moment.
Good morning, Arsene.
Good morning.
As you were just saying, it's been 21 years. After all that time, is this still the fixture you look forward to most?
It's one of the fixtures, yes, that of course is very important for us, and that you want to win, but basically as well because in the table we have to make some ground up, with the top teams, and it's at home we have been very strong, and our home strengths will certainly be vital to decide where we will finish at the end of the season.
For a long time, obviously, you were the dominant team in North London, perhaps in recent seasons. Spurs
for 20 years.
Exactly. And perhaps in the last year, Spurs have just edged their nose in front. Do you almost even see yourselves as underdogs this weekend?
No, not at all, no. I think Tottenham is a good side, but we have the quality to win this game, and that's what we want to show.
Kev, Jonathan Wilson was writing yesterday in The Guardian about kind of the two identities of the club now, and how Spurs have essentially become the club that Arsenal wanted to become. You look at all the wasted youth talent that Arsenal have, and there's a lot of truth in that, isn't there?
Yeah, it is. I actually read the piece, and it definitely is that way, because what Arsenal set out, and I'm probably going back maybe even 15, 20 years ago within Arsenal, where Arsene Wenger at first maybe was signing a lot of French players. Then he decided, look, we're going to have to start to develop homegrown. We're going to have to start to get players through the system here that's going to help us develop. So we will go and identify the best talent within England. That is essentially what they did, or certainly within the English teams' academies. And I always felt, and there's something that I said it a long time ago, and that was when I was playing against Arsenal. The Arsenal players' attitude, I always felt it was always one of, I don't know, they always had that slight arrogance about them, and that started to manifest in after a lot of players left the club. I think, a lot of those big players, the players after the record-breaking team from 2004 was that, I think it was, Owen. From then on, the players' attitude I always felt was wrong. It always was for me when I was playing against them. And I understand that sometimes, you're coming through with a certain, I don't know, I say arrogance, but it's a certain maybe confidence about you, certainly at youth level when they're coming through. They're being identified by Arsenal, so you understand that. But I always felt that the attitude throughout that club was wrong. I always felt that. And that set in from the manager. The manager set that in because he wanted players to go out and express themselves and go and be themselves when they get onto the pitch. And I felt that then was creeping in towards the club. And there was no discipline. I felt as though that they were such an ill-disciplined side. And Pochettino now, what he's doing at Tottenham, as you say, he's identifying the best talent. Yet he's instilling a discipline within that club. You can see throughout, and that is why they have kicked on. They're going on to a different level ahead of Arsenal.
Take on that point, Kev, will you, about Pochettino, because looking at it, he doesn't have an amazing record against the better teams in the Premier League. I think it's 1 win in 16 against the top clubs in inverted commas. So that indicates some sort of are Tottenham employing some sort of a different approach against the better teams that they're not against some of the other teams, or 1 in 16 is a bit more than a quirk, obviously. What's your take on that? Because that does give Wenger some plausibility about his comment that they're not actually underdogs.
Well, they're always going to feel that they're not underdogs because they're at home. They're going to have to go and try and force the issue at some stage in the game. So it's a good point. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that start agent, to be honest. I didn't know.
Just doing a bit of research, Kev. You know what I mean?
Well, I know you're not bad. You're not bad. I've got to say that. Who did that for you? Was that one of the lads?
It's a team of people outside. Yeah, 10 people working overnight.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You can use that one on the BBC over the weekend if you wanted.
All right, I will do. I will do. Thanks for that, Adrian. And honestly, I know you're there for me. I think I look at it. Say with Tottenham, you look at that Man United game the other week. It was such a tight game. Mourinho kind of shut up shop. Really, didn't want to give anything away, and then they always seem to have too much. That seems to be United against Spurs anyway, for whatever reason that is. I don't know. I think with Tottenham, I think they look at that Real Madrid game. I think that was a game changer for them. That Real Madrid game a few weeks ago, because that was the one where it said to me, right now, lads. This is now the time when we have to go now and start winning these big Premier League games. We've done it against the best in Europe. Now we've got to go and start doing it against the best teams in the Premier League because they're capable of doing it. The home record last season was outstanding. It's perhaps when they go away from White Hart Lane. That is from last season. Now we'll see how they got Wembley across the course of this year. But they've got to get it right when they're away from home, when they're in these big matches. And even if they're coming away with a draw and not necessarily getting beat, that's the one thing I suppose that they need to improve on. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the early game tomorrow. It's live on Premier League Live as well on todayfm.com. So do head along there and check it out.